माय डियर स्टूडेंट, तो आज मैं आपको करंट अफेयर रिवीजन 2026 इंडियन पॉलिटी का इंडियन पॉलिटी का यहाँ पे रिवीजन जो करंट अफेयर था एग्जाम के लिए वो आज रीड करूँगा या नहीं पढ़ाऊँगा। तो चलिए शुरू करते हैं आज का इस करंट अफेयर रिवीजन 2026 इंडियन पॉलिटी। तो ये है सिलेबस जीएस पेपर 2 इंडियन पॉलिटी। इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन historical under Indian Constitution historical underpinning evaluation the features, the amendment, the significant provinciation and the basic structure, the function and responsibility of the union and the state issue and the challenge, the pertaining to the federal structure, devolution of power and the finance up to the local levels and the challenge train. The separation of the power between the various organ dispute, the redressal, the mechanisms and the institution. Comparison of the Indian constitution scheme with that of other countries. The parliament of the state legislature structure, functioning, conduct of business, power and the privilege and the issue arising out of this. The structure, organization and the functioning of the executive and the judiciary, the ministerial and the department of the government, pressure group and the formal informal association and their role in the polity. Silent features of the Representation of the People's Act, the appointment of the various constitutional courts, powers, function and responsibility of the various constitutional body, the statutory regulatory and the various quasi-judicial body. Socialism and the secularism in preamble. Two words, secularism and the socialism, were originally not a part of the preamble. They were added by the Constitution 42nd Amendment Act 1976. 1976. The 42nd Constitutional Amendment also replaced the phrase unity of the nation with the unity and the integrity of the nation. Why socialism was not included in the original preambles? Indian socialism different from the prevalent ideas of socialism. The socialism investigated by the Indian state was not the secularism of the USSR or China of that time. I did not investigate the nationalization of the Indians means of the protection Indian adopt the mixed economic model. They avoid the getting the embroiled in the Cold War dynamics. Indian polity was always the socialist in it is the incidence as can be seen in the several articles under part 4, that is DPSP. Why secularism was not included in the original preamble? Indian, the concept of the secularism is the sui generis. West concept of the secularism is the mutual, the exclusion of the state and the religion. That is not the interference in the affair of each other. The Keshavananda Bharatiya case 1973 did not provide the clear definition of the basic structure, but the listen the principles such as the federalism, secularism, and the democracy as a part of it. Why in news? Then the Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar criticized the inclusion of the socialism and the secular in the preamble during this emergency. The Assam Chief Minister Hemanta Biswa Sarma equated the similar views. Preambles part of the Constitution. One of the major discussion related to the preamble of Indian has been that whether the preamble is a part of the Constitution or not. The evaluation of the opinion on this issue, Birubari Union Case 1970, the preamble is not a part of the Constitution through the same the assistant in the interference of the Constitution may be taken from it. Keshavananda Bharatiya Case 1973, the preamble of Indian Constitution will now be considered as a part of the Constitution. It will be play an important role in the interpretation of the status and other various the prevention of the Constitution. The LIC of the Indian case 1995, the Supreme Court once again the ruled that the preamble is an the integral part of the Constitution, but it cannot be directly enforced in the court of justice in India. Original, this is the preamble and the included during the emergency and 1976. This the added the preamble. The State Reorganization Act 1956. January 26, 1950, when the Constitution came into effect, the Indian was divided in 28 states. This the state were the categories in the four groups. The Part A, the former British provincials, the Part B, former princely state, and Part C, centrally administered state, and the Part D, Andaman and Nicobar Island. The several demand the state for the reorganization of the state on the linguistic group start. The Dhar Commission 1948 opposed the language and basics for the reorganization of the state as it would the hamper national integrity. JBP Jawaharlal Nehru, Vallabhbhai Patel, and the Patabi Sitaramaya, the committee that create to the study Dhar Commission report, agree with the commission. The creation of Andhra Pradesh. The Congress leader Poti Siramullu, the Poti Siramullu died after 56-day hunger strike for the creation of the Telugu speaking state from Madras. This led to the creation of Andhra state, the first state formed on a linguistic basis in India was the creation on October 1, 1953. तो ये है पोती सिरामुलु বা সিরিমালু। After the creation of the Andhra Pradesh, many similar demand arose from other states as well. Faisal Ali Commission. In December 1953, the government established the State Reorganization Commission (SRC), also known as the Fazal Ali Commission, which included the K.M. Panankar and S.N. Kunjuru. Recommendation of the Fazal Ali Commission. Reorganization based on the language. The support formation of the state on linguistic basis but not the exclusively on it. That suggests that other the factors like administrative convenience, the economic feasibility, the culture and the historical background and the security should also be the considered. The uniform classification of the state and the union territories recommendation of abolishing the classification of state into the part A, B, C, and D. Why in news? In this the context, the Tamil Nadu government R.N. Ravi recently criticized the linguistic division of the Indian state post-independence. According to him, other language speaking the peoples are the accorded the second-class citizens status. The outcome of the Fazal Ali Commission. The recommendation led to the states. The Reorganization Act 1956 it the reshaped the internal boundaries of the Indian, creating the state like Kerala, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, etc. Establishment of the Zonal Council for the maintaining uh, coordination amongst Article 21 of the Constitution. No person should be deprived of the life or the personal liberty except according to the procedure by law. The Francis Pass Union Territory of Delhi 1981 as said the right, but Supreme Court said right to the life does not mean mere the survival the animal like the existence. Using the idea that Article 21 does not mean the right life just as the mere survival, but the dignified life. Supreme Court expand the ambit of the Article 21. It included right to the meaningful livelihood, the oligarch telecast 1986, right against the population, the free water and air, Subhas Kumar Press, the state of Bihar, Subhas Kumar P. State of Bihar, 1991, the protection of culture heritage, the right of the every child to the full development, right to against the custodial debt, right to against the delayed the execution, right to go abroad, the right to shelter, the right to privacy K.S. Putiasamy, Putiasamy and Jasmine 2017. Current news: The Supreme Court held the Supreme Court held the Maastricht the health and the hygiene and integral to the right to the life, the Article 21 of the Constitution. Homosexuality, the adultery and the right to marry. Evolution of right to the privacy since the Putiyasamy judgment. Navdas Singh Johar v. the Union of Indian 2018. Either decriminalize all the sexual relation between the consenting adults, including the adults of the same sex by homosexual. Right of the adults to the marry persons of the choice, the Hadia case 2017. Joseph Shine v. Union of the Indian case 2018. It that discriminates adultery on the ground of the defending sexual liberty and privacy, as well as the ex- excessive state the intrusion in the people the married lives. The court said would accept the adultery to remain the social crime. Same-sex marriage. The Superior v. Union of Indian case 2003, the Supreme Court refused to legalize same-sex marriage. The court's argument: the marriage is defined by the personal law and the Special Marriage Act 1954 between the people of the opposite sex by heterosexual, the legal reorganization of the same-sex marriage is the policy matter for the parliament, not the court. Hadia case, the Shapin Jahan case 2018, right to the marry the person of the choice. Right to the die with the dignity. The Oruna Sangbang case 2011. In the 2011, the Supreme Court allowed the passive euthanasia in the Oruna Shanbhauk. Oruna Shanbhauk case 2011. In the 2011, the Supreme Court allowed the passive euthanasia in the Oruna Shanbhauk case. The common cause be the Union of Indian case 2018. Supreme Court reorganizes the right to the die with dignity under Article 21 of the Constitution of India. It also reorganize the legality of the living wills or the advanced medical directives, allowing the individual to specify in the advance that they do not want life the sustaining the treatment if they become the terminally ill or the incapacitated. if there is a living will, medical board review, the High Court, Supreme Court, the court, the validates the treatment, the withdrawal if not, but if no, the living will. The family approach the hospital, court, medical board, evaluation, the High Court, Supreme Court approve the decision taken. Euthanasia, the passive and the active. The passive euthanasia means the withdrawing life support to induce the death in a natural way. The active euthanasia means the inject, injecting lethal the drugs to the induce the death. This is not the permitted in India. In the Supreme Court, 2000 animal right, animal right under Articles 21. Animal right under Article 21. Animal Welfare Board of Indian B and the Nagaraja 2014. The Supreme Court viewed the right to life under Article 21, the included living with the dignity, and this the principle that applies to animal in a the limited but the meaningful sense. The animals are the entitled to the protection from the unnecessary the pain and the suffering. Jallikattu. The Jallikattu is the traditional bull taming sport associated with the Tamil festival of Pongal. The event that dates the back to the Sangam period and is considered by the symbol of the Tamil culture. Jalalkattu and the similar sport of the bullock cart races in the Maharashtra was a challenge in the Supreme Court by the Animal Welfare Board of India for the cruelty against the animal. How? Jalakattu, the continuous even after ban by Supreme Court. Following the public protest in Tamil Nadu, the state the government passed the Tamil Nadu regulation of the Jalakattu Act 2017 to allow. The sport while the imposing the certain the condition. The Animal Welfare Board of India. The Animal Welfare Board of India is the statutory body under the Prevention of the Cruelty to Animal Act 1960. As all tradition of Assam, the buffalo right. The buffalo right are held in the different part of Assam during Magh Bihu with the Ahatguri in Nagaon district belong the biggest center. Bulbul fight. The bulbul fight, the songbird on the other hand are and the attraction at the uh, higher grill and the Madhav Mandir in Hazo, around 20 km from Guwahati. The Assam government also had to the allow the buffalo fight and the bulbul fight through the notification, but it was the quashed by the Guwahati High Court. Article 142. The provide provide discretionary power to the Supreme Court. Any order so the pass or the order so the match shall be uh, enforceable the throughout the territory of India. The Article 142 provides the unique power to the Supreme Court to do the complete justice and between the parties where at times the law or the status may not the provide the remedy. The order released by the Supreme Court under Article 142 was the gravity of a law. Thus, as the order are known as the judicial legislation. The judicial legislation are the commandant for doing the complete justice and hence the call the judicial activities. The Article 142 criticized for the judicially interfering the legislative and the executive branch the judicial overruns. But when such the activism the courses limit it is the condemned as the judicial overruns. The doctrine of separation of power is the division of the legislative, executive, and the judicial function of government. The respect the application, the financial and the human humanitarian and relief 2026 the court the uh, invocate it to the reduce the loan dues for the widow the facing several unusual the circumstances. Education the sector the reform 2026 the direction were issued to central state government to the fill the vacancies in the higher education the institution and the track student suicide. 130th the constitutional amendment bill 2025. The bill the proposed the amendment to the Article 17.5, 164 and 290, 239 AA of the Constitution which deal with the Union Council of Ministers, Council of Ministers in the states and the Minister in Union Territories respectively. Applies to the Prime Minister, Chief Minister and the Minister at Union, State and Union Territory levels. The ground for the removal, arrest and the detention for 30 consecutive days for and the offence the punishable by the 5 years for or more. The reappointment the possible after the release from custody. The objective prevent the prolonged the tenure of the arrest leader in the office. Example, the recent the case the involving Delhi CM Arvind Kejriwal. The relation behind the bill. The seek to the court the criminalization of the politics. The consumer regarding the bill. Fear of misuse. Through the political motivate the sense by the central government against the CMs. Bypass the principle of the innocent until the proven the guilty. Note, there is no automatic removal of the minister upon the arrest under the Representation of the People Act 1951 RPA. The Constitution 131's Amendment Bill 2025. The Punjab Reorganization Act 1966. To the reorganization the state of Punjab on a the linguistic and the administrative basis. The creation of new political unit. The state of Haryana. The carved out of the Punjab on the basis of the Hindi speaking areas. The Union Territory of the Chandigarh. They create as a union territory to the serve as the capital of the both Punjab and Haryana. The governor of Punjab is the ex officio administrator of Chandigarh, New Punjab. The consider of the Punjabi speaking areas. The certain areas the margin with the Himachal Pradesh. Example, Lahwal, Spit, Kangara, Kullu, etc. The Constitution 131's Amendment Bill 2025. The bill aimed to bring the Chandigarh under the Article 240, the rising concern of the struggle sense. The Article 240. The Article 240 gives the President the power to make the regulation for the peace, the progress and good governance of the certain union territories. तो ये था आज का रिवीजन सेशन एंड पॉलिटिका. इंडियन पॉलिटी. तो मेरा जो यहाँ पे इस तरह से वीडियो आएगा और मैं और भी डेवलप करूँगा. मेरा जो स्पीकिंग एंड राइटिंग सब कुछ यहाँ पे डेवलप करूँगा. तो आप इस चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कीजिए एंड इस तरह से रेगुलर 1-2 वीडियो आएगा और सीसेट का क्लास भी आएगा जल्दी से जल्दी. थैंक यू सो मच.